Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the Demon List channel. Today's episode will cover notable community events that happened in the month of January of 2023, such as Aeonair's demon grinding rampage and the verification of unnerved innards. So without further ado, here's Kutsu with the main story. Many people may not know this, but in the beginning, innards wasn't intended to be an extreme demon. In fact, it was not even intended to become a demon at all. The original innards was planned to be our 6 or 7 star until Cincy buffed it to a medium demon for Vibrant's 8th creator contest, and subsequently to extreme demon a short time after that. After this, Cincy buffed it 2 more times, skyrocketing it to the difficulty of the unnerved innards that we know today, and showcasing the new level on January 9th, 2018. Cincy worked as hard as they could to verify this near impossible demon at the time, but to no avail. On March 12th, 2019, over a year after they originally announced the level, they dropped the level and made unnerved innards public so anyone could attempt to verify. 2 days later, Wuxi got 57 to 100. 2 days after that, hacker XN posted his quote-unquote verification of the level, and yet another 2 days after that, Cincy verified the currently rated nerfed innards. What ensued after this was a prolonged dormancy around the level. During the time Cincy had the level, the best runs they reached were 49 to 80, 60 to 98, and 44%. Following Wuxi's run, the next substantial progress on the level to be uploaded was by INNARDS, who posted 49 to 100 on April 18, 2020, over a year later. 5 days after that, INNARDS posted a progress of 41% from 0, getting close to Cincy's best. After this though, INNARDS took a break from the level. The next player to upload progression was Dice88, who matched INNARDS' run of 49 to 100 on October 29, 2020. However, after this run, Dice88 also took a prolonged break. The next player to enter the scene was MikeRoz, who uploaded 65 to 100 on January 23, 2021. They then proceeded to get some consistent progress from 0, first being 37, then 40, then 42, and finally 44, matching Cincy's long-standing world record. The final player to jump into the scene was Enswish, who, on March 30th of 2021, uploaded their progression of 42%, comparing the run's difficulty to a top 30 demon at the time. On April 4th, Enswish became the first player to top Cincy's best with a run of 50%, but stopped making progress after that as well. The next progress we saw was MikeRoz getting 57 on April 21st, 2021, then Dice88 beating the best by 2% by achieving a record of 59% on July 15th, 2021. The last progress we saw of 2021 was 6 months later with MikeRoz's run of 41 to 100, the new best run to 100 at the time. After this, we saw an 8-month period with MikeRoz being the only player to progress on the level, first getting 60% from 0 on January 18, 2022, then 63% and 36 to 100 on April 15th. This streak was broken by Dice88 achieving 63% on June 21st, tying MikeRoz's record and stating that this was his final push, and if he did not beat it in this push, he probably never would. That was Dice88's last progress upload. Just a week later though, MikeRoz posted an impressive best of 81% on June 29. The month of July 2022 saw a resurgence from our other 2 contenders, with Enswish and INNARDS both posting considerable progress this month. INNARDS started off strong with 49 to 100 on July 14th and 59% on July 18th, but this was when Enswish, the former uncontested best player in the game, gave it his all. After also posting a run of 49 to 100 on July 21st, his next upload was a shocking 15 to 100 on the level, encompassing all of the major difficulty. He then got 79 from 0 as a fluke from 44 coming back to the level on July 25th, and a world record of 82 on July 28th. However, this record of 82 was Enswish's last uploaded progress video of the level. MikeRoz matched Enswish's best of 82 on September 12th, however that was also MikeRoz's last progress upload. With all other contenders out, we had only 1 player left, INNARDS, who took a quick break from the level to get world records in 4 Sonic the Hedgehog games, an incredible achievement in its own right, and was ready to make the last final push that the level needed. They started this comeback another 6 months after their last significant progress, getting a new personal record by 1% on January 5th, 2023 with 60%. The next day they got 63, and 5 days later they achieved 38 to 100 as well as 75%, getting closer to Enswish and MikeRoz's record of 82. And lo and behold, the next day they became the 3rd player to tie the world record. However, unlike their 2 predecessors, they would not stop there. Just 2 days after getting 82, they would make it all the way to 98%, dying to the very last click of the level. For INNARDS, there was nothing to be done after this other than to buckle down and make one final push to verify this beast. Even though they went from 60% to 98% in just 9 days, it took them another 16 days until INNARDS did the unthinkable and put this former impossible demon to rest.
I verified INNARDS! I verified INNARDS! I verified INNARDS! Oh my god, I verified INNARDS! I verified INNARDS, I'm not joking, holy shit.
It took them over 165,000 attempts, even though during the race they faced up against esteemed players like Dice88, the verifier of Oblivion, and Nswish, the former #1 player. They showed dedication and persistence to pull through and verify this beast. As a final note, it seems unlikely that the unnerfed version of INNARDS will be rated in its current state, due to the fact that it is just a buff version of another already rated level, but Micros and Zarv are working on Entrails, a redeco project for the level. This will have the same gameplay as unnerfed INNARDS, but with a new reimagination of the deco that should bring it to a rateable state. As it stands, INNARDS believes unnerfed INNARDS is harder than Firework, so taking that opinion with a grain of salt, we can reasonably say that we have a new top 10 coming, hopefully, in the near future. We congratulate everyone mentioned for their contribution to the legacy of this level. In other news, popular Geometry Dash content creator Aeon Air set a record by beating an astonishing 1,000 demons in the month of January. Self-labeled as their magnum opus in the game, Aeon pushed himself to beat just over 32 demons every single day throughout the entire month, and ending it off with a bang by beating the extreme demon Barbaros Finale by Moth as the 1000th level. This challenge was originally intended to be a 500 demon goal, which both Aeon Air and rising creator and esteemed player Zeronium agreed to do. But when Aeon realized that the record for demons completed in a month was in the 700s, he decided to put all of his effort into crushing the record, and on January 29th, he did it. While most achievements in this game are esteemed because of the physical skill they require, rarely do we see such a mentally challenging task being pulled off in the game. Huge congrats to Aeon Air. On a similar note, top player turned extreme demon grinder Wolves became the first player to complete 400 extreme demons. Back in late 2021 and early 2022, Wolves beat mainly top demons, with having a very large chunk of the top of the list completed at one point, but always put a decent amount of times into beating easier extremes. However, in May of 2022, Wolves posted about a delay issue that had arisen on his PC. With this delay, and other personal issues in his life, Wolves could not spend much more of his time playing top demons, and switched his grind to lower end levels, trying to see how many of these levels he could beat. On May 21st, in the description of his Reverence video, Wolves began putting his extreme demon count in the description of his completions, with him having 186 at the time. Ever since then, it has been a horse race. At that time, the top grinders were DDDDR and Zeronium, with DDDDR having just reached 300 extremes, becoming the first player to do so, and Zeronium sitting at 275. After reaching his milestone of 300, however, DDDDR decided to slow down a considerable amount, and Zeronium passed him on July 27, 2022 by beating Ferrum Frenzy. After that, Wolves pushed harder than ever and surpassed Zeronium on December 20th, 2022 with his completion of R Fountain as his 369th extreme. Just over a month later, on January 24th, we got to see him complete Shape of the Sun, bringing his count to the astonishing number of 400. We offer our utmost congratulations to the extreme demon grinding community, and we cannot wait to see what milestones you hit next. On January 30th, Zoink verified a buff date to the top 1 demon Acheron. However, since previous circumstances has caused the level to be update locked, this update will never see the light of day. At the end of January, we got to see one of the largest single-day jumps in Stats Viewer placement history by a player. Top 100 player Franzi, who had been pretty active with completions, withheld from submitting any of their records to the list from the beginning of December all the way until the end of January, and all in one day submitted records for 13 list demons, them being Promethean, Descent into Exile, Oblivion, Crimson Planet, Spectrum Cyclone, The Rupture, Aronia, No Jokes, Aquatic Auroras, Cosmic Cyclone, Chroma Finale, Schmarleyville, and Chromatic Haze. This caused them to jump from 77th on the stats viewer all the way up to 28th. A very silly thing to see for sure. Our first upcoming level that had its full preview this month was Korodare, hosted by Moosh and featuring parts from many great creators such as Kiba, Vlak, and Heinz. This level mainly features colors on the cooler end of the spectrum, with many blues, pinks, and purples, as well as the primary usage of black to round out the designs. It's nothing over the top or groundbreaking, but is very solid, and it's hard to say anything negative about it. This level is set to be verified by Jeezy, so wish him luck. Next, we have the full layout preview of Orbit that was made public this month. Hosted by Mindcap and incorporating gameplay from many recognizable names such as Penatone and Sergeiester. This level has very unique gameplay, with every single click consisting of orb inputs. This level already looks insanely difficult, so it's no surprise that Zoink is set to be the verifier once the level is finished. On-site is an experimental list demon that had a full preview release in January, utilizing a song of the same name by a certain controversial music artist. It has incredibly intense visuals reminiscent of maps such as Of Ambrosia and Goner. This level portrays the song it uses to perfection, and while it is yet to be seen if it is fun to play, it is certainly fun to watch. Next, we have Critical Heat. This is a top 30 extreme demon with the gameplay created entirely by Zeus, and the deco done entirely by Xenix. From what I can tell, this level is themed off of a factory catching fire, with several machines incorporated into the block design and extreme fire effects at the drop. This demon map is set to be verified by H-Storm, who has been playing the level very often on stream. Be sure to catch one of his streams as this video is out before it's verified, even though that's pretty unlikely, because I am really slow. Our final upcoming level for January is Network by Amza and Negate, the sequel to Framework. This level is very interesting because it basically takes everything that Framework does and cranks it to 100. The designs are more polished, the effects are way crazier, the level is twice the length, and is expected to be at least 120 to 130 spots above the original. This is one of the best functioning sequels we have ever seen, perfectly encapsulating the vibe of the original and improving it by a significant amount. Huge congratulations to Amza and Negate on finishing this, and good luck to the world of me on verifying. Our first release level this month was the first successful Demon List public server project, which was finally verified by its host, Dreamlight, this past month. Rift contains many different glow-style decoration parts and simple effects to make a solidly intense playing experience. The level is projected to place somewhat high onto the list, and many players have already given this level a shot, so feel free to as well if you're able. Congrats to Dreamlight and the other creators involved on finishing this project. Sky Shredder is the 5th upgrade in Path 1 for the Monkey Ace in Bloons Tower Defense 6, but in Geometry Dash, it's so much more. 1.9 creator and player Dorvict created and verified their completely solo 1.9 top 1 this month, taking them many hours of build time to create and 30,369 attempts to complete. It's fascinating to see another completely solo level that is verified by its own creator. With the level's placement, Dorvict will join an elite group with members such as Nisha and Temp by having their completely solo demon on the list. Do you guys remember Graceful? Well, this is it now. Feel old yet? Gracefully hosted by Nindy is a projected top 50 extreme demon that has been in the works ever since Graceful was verified. Taking a very long time to finish, we see that the quality of the parts is nothing short of extraordinary. Huge congrats to Nindy and the creating team on finishing this incredible project, and to Van for verifying. By far our most unique level that was released this month has to be Ameliorate by Maxis044, Cordox, and Onville. What is truly special about this level is that it uses no groups, no triggers, and only 2 color channels. Utilizing many interesting quirks with the editor, we get a result that is impressive and unique. Not to mention that the level is over 5 minutes in length. This is definitely one of the most interesting extremes we have ever seen. Congrats to Maxis044 on verifying. There were a few new promotions within the list team this month. Starting us off, Paco rejoined the team and was subsequently re-promoted to the moderator status all within the month. Joining her in the ranks of moderator is Squad, who was also promoted to this position. Umbra marks the sole new addition to the team, being promoted to a helper. The Pointer Crate guidelines received an update this month. If you are not familiar with the new changes, head on over to the Pointer Crate website to familiarize yourself with any new rules or changes. There were a few notable changes to the list, but to start off, we'd like to congratulate the top player Zoink, who overtook Space UK to become the new #1 player on the stats viewer after over a year-long reign by Space. On the first day of the year, Kyoki was placed at number 3 on the list, knocking Sakupin Circles out of the top 5, along with Oblivion out of the top 10. The longest extreme demon in the game, known as Sinister Silence, coming at nearly 9 minutes in length, was placed at number 22, making for a new challenge for long-level enjoyers. Down in the extended list, there were 2 new additions. Fragmented was placed at number 78, and X0 was placed at number 113. For our top 10 completions this month, we had an unheard of 4 victors of Slaughterhouse, them being W Popoff, Black Hole, Snowballer, and Beirut. What is interesting about Beirut's completion is that he beat it on Sutran's stream while Sutran was writing the description for his Sakupin Circles completion just an hour after he beat it. Speaking of Sakupin Circles, not only did Sutran beat it, but Raves did as well. Along with this, Firework was beaten by Xinity, Jif and Arzen beat Limbo, and we have 4 victors of Arcturus being Dice88, Tfib, CVRRO, and DeBusy Cookie. Congrats to these insanely skilled players on their hard work and dedication. Another crazy thing that happened this month is we got to see something truly special, Vermilion becoming the first creator of Bloodbath to beat the level after 7 years. It cannot be put into words how great this is, and it truly shows how far we have come from this former top 1 demon. Backing away from positive topics, an absolute travesty has come about the GD community this month. PP Pixel verified their top 6 difficulty extreme woke circles, which is just another attempt from those damn Dems at pushing the liberal agenda onto hardworking Americans. First it was the M&Ms, but now they're coming for Geometry Dash levels too. They have gone too far, and they must be stopped. Congrats to them on this insanely challenging achievement.
For this month's Demon Review, we have a rather interesting level. It starts off looking fairly chill, but then transforms into something I'd call pretty demonic, pun not intended. Of course, I'm talking about INNARDS, which has had its unnerfed version recently verified by INNARDS. I've always been a fan of its decoration. It has this style that just sticks with you, but most importantly, it has progression. You first enter this happy world where you jump over some tiny spikes, very tiny. As you continue though, things shift. The blocks start to turn red until suddenly a complete 180. The level is no longer this happy, cheerful world that you'd like to be in, but something pretty evil. And the bad news is, there's no good way out. You either complete the level or die. Yeah, both are pretty rough. But anyhow, that's the reason I love its decoration so much. It just hooks you in with a simple yet cool concept. Obviously, some of the deco isn't the most up to date, but I'd say it has aged pretty well for its time. Especially considering it was made like 3 decades ago for Geometry Dash time. As for the gameplay, well, I lied, those jumps aren't tiny at all. I can't probably judge their nerfs since I kind of have a skill issue, but it does seem like the difficulty is a bit too forced. Which I mean, it is in a way. It was originally meant to be like a medium demon, and then since they just kept buffing it and buffing it until it became a grandpa demon. But yeah, overall great level, and the fact that it's a nerfed, or buffed might I say, version has been verified, old me would be screaming right now. Oh yeah, score. I'll say a 7 out of 10.
This month's player shoutout goes to C. She is a very underrated player who currently sits at 366 subscribers, having completed several extremely hard demons such as Oblivion, Tartarus, and Zodiac, as well as being the first victor of Sinister Silence and Sky Shredder. They are quite active, beating many main lists each month, as well as currently sitting at top 40 on the demons list. This player is obviously extremely talented, so drop a sub if you wish to support them. Their channel link is in the description. Last month, the Demon of the Month was BRKMGB8GJCZ by Robot Chief and more. The victors were Dust1657 in the Ultra Block. Congrats to them. This month, we chose Launchpad Labyrinth by Moth. As always, the first 3 players to beat this level will get a shoutout in the next month's highlights video, so good luck to anyone willing to give it a go. And that wraps up this month's highlights video. The writers and voicers were Kutsu, Onealphahelix, and Ender. The editors were Kutsu and Ender. Thanks for watching!